this thing working? I really hope it's working. I hope I'm getting sound because I don't know right now. Sounds like I'm getting sound through here. All right, so yesterday I did a live stream taking a look at the Pac-Man microplayer. And I've got the Dig Dug one to also take a look at today. And I'm really hoping all this works. I just realized I forgot to set up one of my lights. So that's a little awkward. I'm going to go grab... See, that's one of the things about live streaming. That's one of those pitfalls of doing it live is that, you know, it's like... normally, if I make a mistake, I could just stop it, and I could go back, and I could do it again. But since we're live streaming, this is live, so hold on one second here as I watch... This is the top dollar stuff. This is the stuff people tune in for. This is all the great stuff. So I've got my little lighting kit here, and so we're just gonna whoop, and then we're gonna whoop whoop, we're gonna whoop, and then we're gonna So I do have actual equipment. I mean, believe it or not, I know a lot of times this looks like it's done under the there we go, under the cheapest and worst conditions of all time, and that may be true. But I do have some actual equipment that I use. So, today, we are going to be taking a look at the most exciting, wonderful, Dig Dug Arcade. Look at that. This is the My Arcade mini player. And they have several of these. We've taken a look at a bunch of these in the past. We've taken a look at Pac-Man yesterday. We've taken a look at... what is it? Galaga Kung Fu, Bad Dudes, and Burger Time. Burger Time was the other one. So I actually like these things. I think these are pretty good quality. They're a little more expensive than some of the others out there, but if you've seen some of the other players, you know, some of them are really cheap. I don't know what I did. I have a Space Invaders one that's really, really cheap. It's another one of those, you know, arcade, my home arcade. Oh, here it is. And so some of these have the old school, like, Game & Watch, where it's just, like, the very basic screen on there. And, like, your old digital quartz watches is what it looks like. So these are a whole lot nicer. And you can see they got the Dig Dug header artwork there at the top. That looks nice, doesn't it? And you've got some game history here on the side. And let's see, this one says... Figars and Pukas and Falling Rocks, oh my, join Dig Dug on the ultimate adventure to vanquish underground monsters. Making his first appearance in Japan in 1982, the air pump wielding hero has since become an arcade legend. And there you go, because that's big news. He's a legend. You know, all of these have the same package. So we've talked about the package before. You know, you've got some of the artwork on the side that kind of models after the artwork from the actual arcade cabinet. You've got the picture on the back, and you've got a whole bunch of material in a bunch of different languages. Nothing too incredibly special there with all of that stuff, but nonetheless, there it is. So let's go ahead and rip this guy open. And my air conditioning just kicked on, so I hope that's loud and kind of gets in the way. That'd be great. Fantastic. All right, rip this with that. Pull out our plastic. And here's our arcade machine. Now, one thing I haven't pointed out before on these, and I probably should have, and it's my fault for not getting into it like I should, but on the bottom there's actually rubber grips, and all of these have these rubber strips, these grip strips down there. So if you set it on a table to play it, and you're, you know, getting into it, and you're really, you know, pushing it, the grip helps to keep it in place. So it's not sliding all over the table while you're playing with it, which, again, it makes it a little more expensive. These things are more expensive, but the more I play with them and the more I use them, the more I'm like, you know what? These things are worth a little bit extra money that you put into them. So there's a little sticker on top showing you what the game screen looks like. I think, you know, you're all familiar with that. And again, we've got the battery compartment. And we've got the little space where you can plug in your micro USB cable. And I thought now it's gone. Now I had a micro USB cable sitting here. And again with the live, doing it live with the streaming. And you see all of this happen. All right, here's one. Let me see if this will work. Yay, that one works. Okay. So you can see your game screen coming across there, and that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And again, lights up when you press. This is actually the power button, the coin return. If you haven't seen one of these before, that's your actual power button. And on the back, you do have a spot where you can plug in headphones, and you can adjust the volume control, which again, really nice. Also, if you haven't seen one of these, the joystick does come off. So if you just want to use the thumb pad, like the old NES controller pad, that is on there and that is available. But I do enjoy having it. Now, one thing I do like about these that's a little different from the others is that the buttons are actually specific. Sometimes you get these machines and they have the same button set up and I knocked a bunch of stuff over. Live streaming. That's what makes it so much fun. So a lot of times you have these and they just have a bunch of random buttons, and maybe they do something, maybe they don't. They'll use them for a select or start or maybe a pause or something. They're trying to find some excuse to have those on there. But in this case, you can see the Burger Time has the two buttons there for the salt and pepper, right? So that exists there separately. If we grab something like the Pac-Man, you can see there are no buttons on the Pac-Man because Pac-Man has no buttons. And then here on the Dig Dug, the only button that you have is the pump button, and so this one only has the one button. So they're actually, you know, legitimately doing the specific game that you're buying has the correct number of buttons. So that's cool. So I think that's a nice, again, these things are a little more expensive, but they're just a little bit nicer overall. We do have the sticker on the side. This is Bandai Namco. Those two companies came together a few years back. I say a few years back, like 2002, 2001, something like that. All right, so now I did get some comments yesterday saying that you guys wanted to actually see the games being played, and I tried to turn it around the other way, and it didn't work as well. So I think I have a setup here where you're not going to get too much glare from the camera, or from the lights into the camera. Let me see if I can do this. See, by having the light back there, there we go. You can kind of see the messy floor of my living room back there. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, so here we. Now let's hope that I can play well enough to not completely embarrass myself. Already I'm having a problem with this joystick. There we go. Oh, and somehow I was facing the wrong way. That's always fun. Try this again. Yeah, I'm having some issues with this joystick, really, a lot. I'm going to try to take the stick off there, because I'm having problems with going down, of all things. Alright, so not having the joystick on there has actually made it work a little better. Now I'm pressing up and it's not going up, as you can see. So even though I was pressing up, it wasn't moving up. So I don't know, this stick, and I have mail, this stick may just be a little, this pad may be a little tight. I might have to actually get in there and try to loosen it up a little bit, because I am having some issues there with my directions. And there's my terrible high score that you can see. Dig Dug, copyright 1982 BNEI. I need to look that up. I need to see what BNEI stands for, because that's Bandai Namco Entertainment International, I guess. So again, is this an NES ROM? I bet it is, because some of the others, a lot of you guys have written in saying, like the Bad Dudes, for instance, was the NES ROM, and you could tell, you know, by the way it was things were worded, the way some of the things looked, you could tell it was NES versus arcade versus, you know, any of the other systems maybe it has shown up on. So this Dig Dug, maybe this is also an NES. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at some game screens to compare it to. But again, this pad is just really, I'm really having an issue with this pad. This is the first one I've really had a problem like this with. Usually these have been pretty good. Alright, here comes a guy down. Alright, so now that all seems to be working. This dragon guy is going to try to get up right here off the edge of the screen. I'd go down there, but I know he's coming up. Here we go. Boom! That's how you do it. Alright, so what have we learned? Well, you know, other than the fact that I'm really bad at playing video games that I love, and I love Dig Dug. That is actually one of my favorites from back in the arcade days. We had an Aladdin's Castle arcade with a Dig Dug, and I used to play Dig Dug a lot. But the gamepad was a little, I don't know if that's just from shipping, you know, it got tight there. It was really tight, having a hard time moving around. But the more I played it, the more it seemed to loosen up. So maybe if you get one of these, you rip it out of the box and you're playing with it right away and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing isn't working like it's supposed to. Then it may just be that, you know, it just needs a little bit of time to loosen up, because now it seems to be playing, you know, a lot better than it was before. But here, I'm going to sit here with my happy little fake family and say, hey family, look. If you're looking into buying some of these old arcade things, these mini arcade machines, there's several different ways you can go. And these, so far, have been kind of the best of the ones I've been messing with. They were more expensive, and I was really kind of, you know, at the beginning, I was like, they're not arcade exact, you know, because they're a wider body, but they do a really good job of giving you that feel. They're very sturdy, very well constructed, compared to some of these other ones, like these little tiny ones here. These little tiny, like keychain size ones, these are more accurate to the actual size and shape, but they're so much tinier. They're a little bit more difficult to work with, even though they're still really, really cool. You know, and these are cheaper, you know, obviously, so that helps. But, you know, having these on your shelf is cool, but actually playing them is a bit more difficult. Whereas these are a lot of fun, and the other ones, I'm trying to remember, there's the My Arcade. They now have Rampage, they have Frogger, they have Centipede. Those are okay, and I do kind of like those, but I feel like these are a higher quality. Maybe it's the selection of games, and I'm just kind of biased as far as the selection of games goes. But I do think these play a little bit better, and the added expense is worth it in the long run, especially because you have the headphone port, and it can run on batteries, or you can plug it in, which is a bonus for whether or not you want to take it with you and, you know, sit in the car and play, you know, whatever you're going to do, take it to work. You're sitting on the train. If you're sitting on the train going to work and you're, you know, playing on one of these, you're guaranteed to make a friend or two from someone that's going to come up and ask you a couple questions. So definitely give it a hands up. A hands up? Sure, a hands up. Oh, not just a thumb. We're doing whole hands here, folks. And it gets the whole hand up. All right, so Zentron. I love the fact that you're watching this, Zentron. Let's see. You love the sound effects, the little details, the classic bleeps and bloops. And yeah, this does have good sound to it. There's a speaker there on the back, which I don't know if it's not showing up at all on the... You barely even see that there's little black dots there. But there is the speaker there. And because you have volume control in the back, you can make it louder. So if you do want louder, and you want louder bleeps and bloops and whatever, you can do all of that as well. Lightning Bolt, Libby, Cupcat, LBL. You thought I would have a problem with the joystick, and you nailed it? Is that what it's going to be like? Is this how we're going to play this game? You need to go back to work. You got homework to do, little girl. That's my daughter, everybody. And she's supposed to be working right now. So you better get back to work. Besides, where's this? This girl right here. This is my good family daughter, my fake family daughter. Look at how happy she is. She's smiling. She just wants to play the game. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for me doing this show. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And now back to the live streaming. Where's the thing? Where's it at? There it is.